Hello, boys and girls. Well, today our lesson is about maps again. And yesterday I sent you on a hunt around your house for maps. I like maps a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to find some maps. Here's one. This is a map of a place called New Zealand. See if I can get the name in there. There we are. New Zealand has kiwi birds in it and a lot of ferns. And New Zealand is made up of a North Island and a South Island. And this map has a compass rose on it. And it doesn't say all of the directions on this compass rose like your yellow book says. This one just says north. Right there, north. So that's how you know that's the North Island. And then there is the South Island, two islands that make up the country of New Zealand. Now, I also have, I'm going to walk with you in my basement because that's where my maps seem to be. I'm going to walk with you and show you this map, which is my map of, do you recognize it? Anybody? It is a map of Africa. And that's why around the map, you can see some African animals like the cheetah, and the baboon, and the oryx, and the rhinoceros, and the jackal. Lots of them, and even look, there's a special owl called the Scops owl that lives in Africa. So there's my big map of Africa. This one doesn't show us the compass rose on this side. I think on the other side there's more of a map with fewer pictures on it, but this one does show us the key. There's the key. That tells you what all of the colors mean on the map. And then the information about the animals is kind of like little fun facts that are all around the whole map of Africa. But I have more than that because I just love maps. So in my basement, I have this big map. And this super big map is not a map of Africa. And it's not a map of New Zealand. Do you know what it is? It is a map of, maybe you can tell because it's got round edges, it is a map of the whole world. But it is a flat map. You can see that it's on my wall. So it's a really big map. If I put my arms out, look how big it is. It's a huge, huge world map. It takes up almost my whole wall. And the reason that I have it is I have a lot of friends who live in other countries and I like to remember where they are, and sometimes they write to me and say, oh, I'm going to Taiwan for my holidays, or I'm going to New Zealand for my holidays, or I'm going to a little island called Bali. And so when they say those things, I think, oh, where is that? I want to look at it on my map. And so I come to my world map and I look at where those places are. There's the whole thing. Now you probably know why it has the circle, right? Because although it feels like our world is flat when we stand on it, the world is not flat, it's round. And so this flat map, if I were to, so I'll show you a corner of it. This corner of it shows the whole world in miniature. And look at the shape. If I were to cut that out and fold it around a basketball, it would be the shape of the basketball. So that's why it's shown that way on the world, and then you can see the whole map this way. Look at the colors that are used on this one. The same map is over here with different colors. And the reason it has different colors is that it has a different key. So the colors mean different things depending on what you are looking at and what you want to learn about. So this one shows population, and the colors represent how many people live in those places. And this one shows you how many people live per square mile. So if less than 2 people live per square mile, it's in white. So you can see a lot of the northern Africa here. This part, that's desert. And that's why no one lives there. In Australia, same thing. Can you see Australia? See Australia? It is almost all white, the whole island, because a lot of the inside of Australia is also desert. Even the South Pole, we call it a desert. And it's a desert, I know it's got snow in it, but it's so dry. There's hardly any snowfall or rain there. It's just always got a cap of snow, and it's almost uninhabitable. Now, if I want to have a map can represent any area. I have here a map, and this big map is actually a map of only one place, and that's the city of Winnipeg. It's been made really big so I can see all the streets, but it's almost as big as my world map, which seems a bit strange. But you can make a map of anything. You could make a map of your bedroom. You could make a map of around your house or of your backyard. The people who made this map wanted people to be able to use it in your car to find street locations. So if I come up close, you can see there are street locations. You can see green patches. And if I look up my key, the key will tell you why we have the green. So this one here is the greenest. And it says, can you read it? Golf course. So wherever there's a golf course in Winnipeg, you have that beautiful dark green. But there are also some spaces that have kind of this orangish color, and that says commercial area. So out here there is a golf course, and across the street is a commercial area. That means it's an area where you can buy things. And on that little corner of the map there is also some yellow, and the yellow says industrial area. So that means that must be where there's a factory or something is being made there in the yellow area. So we have a business area like shops and stores, and an industrial area where there might be a factory and some golf courses. And this blue line running through, I think you know what blue represents, right? That is the river, of course. That is a waterway. So the water is shown in blue. Sometimes also parks will be in green. In this area, a park is shown by the lighter green. Maps also have a key for other things such as railways and highways and roadways. And this whole big map is a map of our city. Now, is our city just this flat place? No, but this is a picture that represents it. So a map is a picture of any place that you want to make a map of. Could be a very big place, like the world. Could be a little bit smaller, like a country. So our country of New Zealand, the one that's on my tea towel from my friend who went to New Zealand, that country is on this map right down here by Australia. Here's New Zealand right here. North Island and South Island, right here by Australia. So New Zealand is a country. This is the whole world. The map of Winnipeg is just a map of our city. But a lot of times, when you're looking at a whole world map, looking at a flat map is tricky. So there are also things that are round. And this is a big one. It's round and it's called, exactly, you probably guessed it, it's called a globe. So we were looking at Africa before. There's the country of Africa. It has a very distinctive shape, and you can read the word there, Africa. Africa is actually a continent. It's the whole area, and it's made up of a lot of different countries. So in Africa, Ethiopia is right here. So I used to live in that place, right in close to Ethiopia, in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, and then close by is Kenya. Sudan is up here. In the center, this is an old map. It says the Republic of Chad. I think it's called Niger now. Sometimes countries change names. Over on this side, you probably recognize that now that we've looked at it a few times, Australia. And there's the two little islands that make up New Zealand. So when you look at a map like this, we call it a globe. How is it different than this map? Well, I think you realize, right? This one is flat and a globe is round. A globe is not just a map of one country, it is always a map of the whole world. And what do you think the blue is? Yes, waterways. So here is the Atlantic Ocean. This globe also has a key written right on it, and the key of this map says that it is it helps you know the elevation. So on this map, the highest places in the world are represented by red. So this is the Andes Mountains all down South America. And this map is actually a relief map. When I feel that, it feels like little mountains. You probably can't really see that, but there's little bumps there. Any place that has mountains is shown in red or orange. So there is Canada, and we have the Rocky Mountains in British Columbia. They are shown by the orange on the side. So the highest places are shown in the brightest, warmest colors, red and orange and yellow, and the flatter places, like Manitoba, are shown in green. Maps always have a different way to show things, and you have to know which way. And there's the compass rose that tells you your directions: north, south, east, and west. So of course, north and south is easier. A globe is, and it shows the world on its axis. So the center point is here, and it goes this way. And so this would be north and south and west and east on the globe. Today we're going to talk about what are the differences between maps and globes. So I hope you remember some of those differences. The map is flat. A map can be of any place, big or small. But if you have a globe, it is always a map of the whole world. It is always in a sphere, a big circle. It's always in a circle shape, and this one even twirls. Not all of them twirl, but this one does. It shows you every country in the whole world. I hope you'll enjoy doing your pages in your booklet today and showing me that you understand the differences between maps and globes.